right. Okay, we're about to begin our session. If you are joining us from anywhere, please share this video. Please share the video. Share the video, please, wherever you are. Share this video. Okay, just want to welcome everybody. My name is Yusuf Nsamba, and I am the training manager at DBT Institute, and also a facilitator, assessor, and moderator for the Assessment Practices Program. Now, this video has been created to support all our individual learners who have completed the learning program. I mean, all those that have completed the learning program and just wondering where to begin, where to start, and how to penetrate through this dynamic industry within the education and training development practices. So today we are going to try to unpack some of the issues that normally stagnate the practitioners or the assessors that have completed the learning program. And then we are also going to give you some guidelines and ways on how you can move forward in terms of managing uh, jobs and also being connected to other interventions that can propel your vision. So we are going to begin literally by looking at some of the key points. Remember, the video has been created for those that have finished or completed or have been declared competent against a unit standard 115753 as well as 115759 and also 117871 SACO IDs. For those of you who are unfamiliar with this, please just go through to your SACA and be able to identify these unit standards. We are aware that the unit standard system is soon phasing out because of the introduction of the occupational qualifications that are coming up, as well as occupational skills programs that have also been brought forward through the Quality Council for Trades and Occupations. We are also aware of the changes now that are coming through. Already the effect is being felt by most of training providers because you find yourself that you need to align with the new system. And if you are left behind, it will be very, very, very difficult for you literally to fit into the new system. Now, our meeting today is all about demonstrating and assisting you as a practitioner on how to move forward. You have completed the course. We have got so many individuals that have completed this learning program. Assessor, you've done assessor, and you are not knowing or not aware of the changes or things that are going to affect you as an assessor, or just don't know what to do next. You just completed the course and hoping that maybe someone will call you to hire you, you know. Okay, let me unpack for you the scenario. Please share this video to whoever it may concern, as well as individuals that are familiar with the assessment practices. When you enroll to complete the learning program to any institution that is accredited through the ETDP CETA, normally these programs are managed and governed by the Education and Training Development Practices Sector Education and Training Authority, that is the ETDP CETA. The course that you've just completed is a generic course. We call it a generic assessor, generic facilitator, or moderator. You are generic. That means that you are not registered at this moment, right? If you have completed the program and you've got your statement of result as well as the certificate of competency, it means you are generic, you are not registered at this moment. So what do you do next? Now, the most important part here is for you to focus on to where does your strength lies. When you completed the learning program, of course, you completed it based on to an understanding that you're going to practice within a field or an industry that you are subject matter expert. So that means that already prior to completion of this course, you are in a specific field or an industry. I've seen a lot of other individuals that come to do the program and literally they do not have any industry or any sector they fall under, and then they literally take up the course not knowing. So we advise whoever wants to do the program must be fixed into a specific industry where you've identified gaps, where you identified challenges, and you want to go in there to support, right? So supporting, it means you become an assessor, you become a facilitator, you become a moderator to add value to those industries. What are we talking about here? Everybody who completes the learning program, facilitation, assessment, and practices, we are aware that you are a subject matter expert. That was also something that is some of individuals do get confused that they don't know that they're supposed to be subject matter expert. Of course, you need to be a subject matter expert, right? It means you must be qualified in a specific industry or sector somewhere. You have a qualification that proves that indeed you have done some research, you have gone to school, you studied something, and then you want to add value. That's what it means. So if you are a subject matter expert, everybody in every way, they operate in a specific industry. We've got so many sectors, like an example, in education and training development practices, educators fall under the education sector. If you are a health practitioner, you fall under the health sector. If you are into minerals and all these mining things, you fall under the mining sector. So we have got so many of these sectors, right? I believe the first specific outcome in 115753 is demonstrate an understanding of outcome-based assessment, but education literally is to understand that there are specific sectors. Education is provided based on a specific sector need. So there must be a specific need for for a specific sector. Then training can take place. As training is taking place, then whoever has been trained needs to be assessed for competency. They need to be checked for the standards that have been set against the qualification that they have completed. Then you need to prove that indeed individuals are qualified. So that's why we say they are specific sector for every learning program. We are aware of that. When you complete the course, let's say you finish up assessor course, we believe you finish up assessor course, you need to register. That's the second part. After completion, you need to register yourself as a constituent assessor. Now, a lot of people complete the course, they get the statement of results, and then they get the certificate, and then they stop there. Literally, you need to register yourself. So registration means that you need to fill out an application form as an assessor or as a moderator with the relevant sector where you hope or you feel like you are able to practice. In other words, you have the experience, you've got the knowledge about the sector, and a specific sector has got specific qualification requirements and specific needs. So you will be able to identify it by yourself because we know you're qualified. Whatever qualification that you have, literally, it means you need to sit down and align. Okay, I've got a BCom degree. Now, within the BCom degree, what specific modules did I cover? What can I be able to assist? Then you register with the relevant sector which manages or which where BCom falls under. If you are unaware of such a program or where you can register yourself, visit SACA. You go to www.saca.org.za and then go to qualification and part qualifications. Check for the qualifications that are there. Check for the specific field where you fall under. Within those specific fields, you are able to identify your own. Say, okay, I've got my strengths in accounting, so I think I need to go to FACET. Or I've got strengths into management. I can manage individuals, I can manage groups, I can manage office and stuff like that. Then you go into management programs and search where does your strength lie in terms of knowledge acquisition that you have got acquired. This knowledge means you can utilize this knowledge to be able to conduct assessment. So once you are registered, of course, the registration process is done by individual sectors. Every sector has got its own processes on how they register. But however, the good news is that most of these sectors now they have got platforms that you can literally upload your documents and apply online. All right, most of them. So you can literally go onto their website. If you are going into, let's say you are into banking, you go to BankSeeker and then apply onto their website. And then if you are into MICT, computing and all that, you want to become an assessor within that industry, then you have got qualification related to IT and you've completed the assessment course, of course, the assessor course, you've completed it. Then you go to MICT, you apply to become a constituent registered assessor. Of course, there will be specific questionnaire that you need to complete or questions that you will be asked. Have you done this? Do you have experienced this? Then you need to mention whatever they ask you. And of course, to complete their application form and submit the relevant documentations. Then they can be able to assess it, evaluate, and then provide you or give you the qualifications that fit within your specifications. If you submit a CV and you say you've got experience in facilitation, assessment, or you've got experience in 1, 2, 3 things, then they will also look at the the qualification that you've provided. Okay, you are experienced, let's say, in technical support, for example. Then they'll look at your CV, and then they will also look at the qualification related to IT technical support if you have one. And then they can be able to authorize, okay, you can be able to assess this because it falls under or within your specifications. They cannot register you for something that you're not qualified for. It is common sense. I mean, you are qualified as an assessor, and then, but the assessment processes that you went through and your experience is within management. But you want to go to do plumbing, you want to become an assessor for plumbing. You don't have any experience in plumbing, so they won't register you for plumbing because you have no record or nothing to describe that you've got potentials in plumbing or any experience in plumbing. So they won't register you. So what does it mean? That you can only be registered based on to your experience and the qualifications that you have obtained. You cannot be registered beyond what you have. So if you can ask 20 qualifications, if the SETA checks that you have all the 20 qualifications and you've got the experience, you've got the qualification knowledge, or the certificates to prove that, definitely they register you. But if you want to register, you only have, let's say, OD, and you've done assessor, facilitator, assessor, and maybe some couple of unit standard or modules in education, and you want to go for a higher qualification, maybe in school management, they will check that, okay, you want to register for school management, but your qualification only restricts you or limits you for maybe one or two, modules. So they only register you for what you qualify for. Now, that's the first step, is to register yourself. How do you register yourself? We say you visit the relevant SETAs. In other words, sit down and look at your CV. Your CV will demonstrate your abilities to conduct assessment in the areas that you are experienced in. Look at your CV, look at your qualifications, and say, okay, I'm qualified here and I've got experience in this. Then you can be able to apply based on what you have. Okay, so that's what it normally means by moving forward. So when you become an assessor, you become a moderator, you've completed and you've been declared competent, you've submitted, and then the training provider has issued you with a certificate of completion or competency. The next step is to register yourself with the relevant SETAs. That will not limit you. But a lot of folks here only complete the program and then they get the statement of result and they are stuck. And some of you will also opt to be assisted. Sometimes when you ask for assistance, you might not get what you are looking for. You need to sit down and analyze your potential, your abilities to say, this is what I can do. Otherwise, if you give it to a consultant or you bring it to us as a training provider, guys, please assist me to register. We only select what we can see bestly, and we only select what you have provided to us to facilitate. But inside of you, you know very well that you've got potentials and abilities in other areas. That is part one. You need to register yourself. The registration process is very clear. One, you need to have an updated CV. Design, sit down. Don't get a CV that you used in 2010 and then you use it to register yourself. It is an outdated CV. We always say update your CV occasionally. Oftenly, you need to be up to date. Update your CV, let it be up to date, that it is flowing with the current trends and also it adds all what you have achieved over the period of time. Right? Don't bring an old CV that you did 2010 and then try to use it now in 2024. I mean, it won't be applicable, it won't apply. It will limit you. You are limiting yourself. That means that also when you're applying for jobs, the CV that you are using is an outdated CV. It doesn't add value at all. When a potential employer looks at your CV, they will just literally throw it in the trash because it doesn't talk to what they are looking for. Package yourself, right? Package yourself. The first part of a potential assessor is to package their CV. Packaging the CV, then register. Get all your qualifications, get them certified, and then apply for the CETA number, like the CETA license. We call it the registration process. You go through the registration and apply. apply with the SETAs. Once you finish to apply, it means you will have more, potentials to be picked up from the pool and then become an assessor. But if you just sit back and say, I've done the course, maybe somebody will say, nothing will happen. So apply, that is part one, apply, and then once you apply, you will be registered definitely. Now, after application and you have registered, what happens? This is the most interesting part because a lot of people still think that once I've applied to a SETA, maybe you've got a ETPP SETA, now you are an assessor, then you sit. We have a lot of individuals that are qualified assessors and they have qualified for a long period of time. I mean, they got registered long ago, long time. But nothing has ever happened. They have never landed any good assessment job. They have never done anything. They are sitting with their registration. And remember, this registration have got expiry dates. Otherwise, like for the start date and the end date. So if you do not practice within the specific given period of time, literally, you find yourself that you are out of the system. Your assessor is expired. You know, so for you to avoid that, once you become a registered assessor, you need to make sure that also you comply with the validity of the assessment period. Keep on updating your assessor registration. In other words, whenever there's an extension, whenever there is a period to renew, go and apply for a renewal of your assessment. It will add value because you are relevant and current. You are not expired. Any chances where a training provider comes and request for an assessor, you are available and you are current. The second part or the third part, after registration and you've received your certificate or your registration letter, what happens next is that sometimes the sector that you have applied for, you might be qualified, like we have got individuals that have got relevant qualifications, they've got many qualifications. They are a jack of all trades. You find them with so many qualifications. There's what we call extension of scope. So you can extend the scope to another sector. If you find that you are limited in one sector, you can extend the scope to another sector. Sometimes you need to remember that some of these assessments overlap or they are interrelated with other sectors, right? So you find that, let's say, if you have chosen specific courses or skills like communication skills, these are applicable across all sectors. You can assess individuals in all sectors of communication depending on the NPF level of the communication that you have applied for, right? So you can apply. So you can extend your scope in other sectors. In other words, pick up the program, use standards or course modules or skills that you are able to assess in other sectors. So there are so many sectors.